What's going on, guys, and welcome to the press conference reaction from Ralph Rangnick for Brighton, and also the coming games, and also my starting 11 I would go with it as well. So lots of questions again asked. Let's get into it. First was asked about the team news, who's going to be available for the Brighton game. He said that Harry Maguire is back in training. He's been training the whole week. He started the day after the Brentford game, and he will be available. Ederson has been training this week as well. Rashford will be out with, he's got bronchitis and a high temperature, so no Marcus Rashford. There's a question mark about Eric Bailly because he's been complaining about back problems, so he's currently getting checked over, and they have to wait on the results of that, basically, of whether he will be available to pick. He was then asked how tough are the final two games as manager in terms of making sure the mindset is right and to push the teams around them all the way to the end. And he said that the last two home games they've got 4 points from, against Chelsea and Brentford. He said that Brentford was one of the best performances in the last 6 months from the team, and he's positive that they will they will try to play on the same level against Brighton in the games after. He also added that he liked how they enjoyed playing together in the Brentford game. They looked like they were having fun, and he said that this is the approach we need for tomorrow's game against Brighton. He was asked, when do you speak to Eric? When do you offer your opinions to the board? And when do you give an overview of the club? And he said at the end of the season that will happen. Right now, me and Eric both need to focus on the clubs we're with. Basically, Eric's got to focus on winning the league and the title, and we got to focus on our games. So I liked that answer from him, short and sweet, but what we want to hear, basically. He said we have agreed to have a chat at the end of the season, but we need to focus on right now. Was asked, do you get the impression that the group won't this group wants to succeed and improve the current situation, because it feels like the players haven't been having fun for a long time, and it appears that they kind of did against Brentford. And he said that it was visible against Brentford in terms of possession, the way that they were controlling the game. He said not everything was perfect. In regards to next season, there are quite a few contracts expiring, so there will be some changes. He said that Eric needs to tell the board which players he wants to work with. The pathway could be very positive next season with the new players coming in and the current players that are going to stay, with what they're all trying to achieve. I like that answer as well. Very positive. He's got the confidence that they can improve next season. He was asked about the situation with Lingard and how his brother came out on social media the other day because he didn't get to come on in the final home game, and was called United classless, basically, for not allowing that to happen. And he was just asked his reaction on that, and he said that under his tenure, and let me just say, this was my favourite part of the press conference, because he kind of went back at Jesse for this, or his brother, because he didn't shy away from it, and I liked how he answered this. So he said, under my tenure, in the last couple of weeks, he has played far more than before I arrived at the club, and that is to start with. He added that at the end, which I loved, because he was blunt and he's not taking any crap. He then said he contacted me on the day of the Chelsea game at the hotel and asked to be released from the game and from training sessions after the game the next day, and this was due to personal reasons, he said, which I allowed to happen. He also said about the situation of him not coming on. He said, I had to make a decision. We only get 3 subs. It might have been a different case if they had the 5 sub rule, but it's 3 subs. There had already been a sub been made. He said that he went with Ederson, and he said that if he hadn't brought Ederson on, then maybe people would be complaining that he didn't bring Ederson on. So he said that that's part of the game, but there's always going to be things that are not going to always be to the liking of everybody, which I thought he answered brilliantly. He shut it down, and I don't think you can come back at that. So I loved that part of the press conference, because he didn't shy away from it, and he shut it down and answered it with confidence and conviction. He was asked how frustrating has the mood been, like how frustrating has it been with the rumours of players being moody, and it's counterproductive to what he's trying to achieve at the club and what he's trying to do. And he said, to be honest, I'm not reading a lot at the moment. He said, I'm not on Instagram, I'm not on Facebook, I don't engage with that sort of thing in those areas. He said, my focus has always been here at the club with the coaching staff to develop the team. Brilliant answer again, not getting involved on the social media side, not biting at the bait of people trying to get negativity out of the club. I loved how he answered it. He also added, with social media, there's always people posting stuff, but it's important for the players and people involved in and around the club, everybody basically, to not take notice of it. Unless it's a player that's posting stuff, then it might be a different story. And I love that as well, because he's thrown it in there that if it's a player doing it, then it's a different story and there's going to be repercussions for that. And I loved it, because it's giving players a warning, basically. Don't mess with me. And I love it. And then lastly, he was asked, should we expect to see Harry Maguire start tomorrow? And he said, it's a decision I have to make after training today. And I don't want it to be to let our opponents in on what we're going to do and the lineup we're going to go with. He said, but he will definitely be a part of the squad, a part of the group and involved. So that was how he answered it and finished the press conference. I loved how he answered some of them questions. As I said, he was blunt. He didn't take any prisoners. He didn't shy away. And he let players know that if you're unhappy, then that's part of the game, and we can have a talk about it if you want, but I'm not gonna bend to suit your needs, basically. And I love that. So very happy with the press conference again. He's on a roll with me at the moment, Rangnick, and I really enjoyed this one today. As for my starting 11 for tomorrow, I would go with David De Gea, I'd go with Dalot and Varane, Lindelof and Telles, Fred and Matic in the midfield. I think Fred offers more than McTominay does, so I'd go with Fred and Matic. I'd go with Sancho on the right, Mata at 10. I think Mata needs to stay in the team, even if he doesn't play the full 90, because I think you could see what he offered in that position instead of Bruno the other day against Brentford. Even if you put Bruno on the left, I would put Mata at 10 again. I've actually gone with Elanga on the left and benched Bruno, and then I've put Ronaldo up top. So let me know your thoughts on who you would go with, guys, in your starting 11. Let me know your thoughts on the comments that Rangnick made in the press conference as well, and how you fancy our chances tomorrow. Enjoy the football tomorrow, guys. There's lots of it, and let's hope, for United's sake, we can get some more positive results and the 3 points tomorrow. I'm going to personally go for a 2-1 away win. Let's hope we can do it. Brighton have got a poor home record this season, so I really think and feel that we could get the 3 points tomorrow. But we have to match that level of performance we did against Brentford to have a chance. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. Before I go, 2,000 subscribers by the 1st of June. I can only do it with your support, so make sure you're subscribing. Make sure the notifications are switched on. Keep supporting, guys. Come and join me on the road to 2,000. I'll speak to you guys soon.